I'm Colleen. Thanks for joining us for episode 4. I've been looking forward to recording this episode since the second we stopped recording the last episode. I'm having so much fun doing these. If you want to know a little more about how this series got started, you can go back to EH1 and we explain it in the first couple minutes. And if you want to know a little more about Cindy and I, that is explained in the first couple of minutes of CFB1. The light being who once incarnated as Pele, so we call her Pele, has been joining us in this series and bringing us messages about Earth's history and giving us some heads up, some pretty big heads up, about things that are coming in Earth's future as well. So every episode has been mind-blowing. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what we're going to learn today. So Cindy, I will pass things over to you and we can get the first part of the message.
Okay. Yes, I too have been chomping at the bit, waiting for what they're going to have to say next. And as always, please use your own discernment and feel free to cherry pick. I said that somewhere and somebody was like, oh, it's okay if I can just pick certain things. Of course, like, with anybody, there are certain things that you're going to like and there are certain things that you don't. Cherry pick away.
That's been my entire spiritual education over like 30 years is
Exactly.
Like read a book and pick out some concepts out of it that are the thing, or watch a video or whatever that are the things that I want to keep and let go of the rest.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to light my candle to set the energy and bring in my angels. Okay. And I will tilt this down so that you can see. So I use a pendulum and an alphabet mat to get my messages. It helps me to focus on the channeled message as it's coming in, word for word. And my angels are like the gatekeepers, and they step aside and allow a being of light to come in to communicate with us. And that being is Pele, and Pele is like one of my best friends. Okay, so the pendulum is still, tells me my angels have stepped aside. This is Pele. Today, I have some information about the event known as the mass awakening. In a short period of time, the mass awakening will be on a timed schedule. The mass awakening is tied to my birth. When I am born on Earth, this will create a bridge between the place where souls are born and Earth. This bridge will open up an opportunity to travel back and forth from Earth to this side of awareness. When a soul is on this side of awareness, they exist outside of time. you will be able to travel to this side of awareness and not miss any time on Earth. This will become a daily experience for you. You will need less sleep, and you will instead get what you achieved in sleep by visiting this side of awareness daily. This way, you don't lose any time on Earth. So, you will be able to be on this side of awareness and return to Earth with all your memories intact. And you will be conscious of everything you experienced while here. This is even better than visiting during your sleep. You will become an active and conscious participant in your own life planning. Once you are free of karma, you will become an active and conscious participant of your own life planning. In a new and exciting feature, you will be able to have a wild experience with others on this side of awareness. This new and exciting feature is that you will be able to communicate with everyone you have loved in your lifetime, even those still alive. This side of awareness is cool like that. God love Pele. This side of awareness will give you a lot of amazing experiences while still incarnated on Earth. It's like being invited to the backstage party while the play is still going on. This will feel amazing, and you will love being able to come and go as you please. There are some people that feel like they will want to stay on this side of awareness. That is karma talking. You are feeling the absence of home energy, and you are feeling the heaviness of earth energy. Once that is cleared, you will be happy to come and go as you please. You will also be happy to be able to help others in amazing and unique ways. Each one of you has a unique healing ability that is needed, and you will be able to help many people achieve what you have achieved. You will be very anxious to get started helping others. It is actually the opposite than what you think. You think you will never want to return to Earth. However, you will always be rushing to get back and want to help as much and as soon as possible. It is recommended that you give yourself time to adjust to your new life and give yourself time to be with your family and loved ones with this new ability to create your wildest dreams. Give yourself time before you jump in to help others. There is a lot of new things to discover in this new and exciting journey on this side of awareness. There is a lot to discover and have fun with. Give yourself the time to have some fun and explore and reunite with your loved ones. This time will be well spent, and you will not regret giving yourself this time. Now I'm going to give you some information about what to expect when you do begin to help others. Each of you has a beautiful and unique love energy imprint that is chock full of healing keys that you have earned over many, many, many lifetimes. These healing keys will help you to help others to accelerate their experience, healing their karma, and completing their karmic cycles. You had to achieve this all on your own. You understand the trials and difficulties of healing this karma on your own. You now hold the healing keys that others may use to help themselves heal faster and easier. This is not necessarily a cheating game. You see, those of you who have accomplished this healing on your own and in the first wave, you had an advantage. You are all high-level souls, and most of you were recruited to take part in this Earth experiment to help it succeed. There were 2 other Earth experiments that failed, and they were stopped. These experiments failed because there were not enough high-level souls involved in those experiments. We discovered that Earth is just too difficult for souls to succeed if there are not enough high-level souls to help out. So, while you have had a challenging time because you had to achieve all your healing on your own to heal your karma and complete these karmic cycles and achieve this over and over and over again throughout lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. While you had to do all that on your own, you were also a high-level soul, and you had that advantage. High-level souls come into Earth's experiment with their love energy imprint being stronger and more powerful than other souls. Yes, everyone comes in on a blank slate and must choose between darkness and light. However, you have the advantage of having a more powerful love energy imprint, which allows you to be able to see the light faster and easier than others. So, the people you will be helping are not cheating. They have been working even harder than you in most respects because they came in with a less powerful love energy imprint, and they became overwhelmed by their karma, where you were not in this same situation. You, as a high-level soul, have been able to clear your karma. And now you will be able to help others who have been working tremendously hard, and they simply are stuck in a karmic cycle that they can no longer help themselves out of. These people have been doing the work. And if they came into this experiment with your level of love energy, they would also be done with their karma. They started at a disadvantage compared to you. Now, you get to help them by lending your healing keys to them, so that they may also succeed in healing their karma and completing their karmic cycles. You had to do this all on your own, and they started at a disadvantage compared to you. Everyone on Earth has been working incredibly hard, and you all deserve the accolades of success that you will experience. Okay, she's taking a break, but she says she has more to say after. My nose is running.
I can't wait to watch this back, what my face must look like when she's talking about going over to the other side and all the stuff we get to do. This has been like a focus for me of like, let's go, when is this happening? I want to go over there.
Yes.
And I must say that I've been one of the ones who, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking, are my daughters ever going to watch this? Because it doesn't sound right, but it was, I knew I could come back eventually. That I didn't, right? Like I didn't really care about coming back over. I just wanted to go into the, I've always called it the 5D, which
Yeah.
I don't even really aspire to all those Ds, but that's just what I call it.
Yeah.
What did you call it? This side of awareness, that side of
Yeah.
awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the stuff she talked about that we can do while we're there, and that we're going to see our departed ones. Cause I have, I'm of a certain age. I have several departed ones,
Yes.
but oh my,
And being able to also communicate with not
right.
departed ones, the higher selves of people that are here with us.
Yeah.
It's like they said, all the things that we do during our sleep when we go to the other side and we're planning and creating all of this that we're doing here. Yeah, we're going to be able to do all of that consciously. So that makes so much perfect sense now that they've been saying for a while, we're not going to need as much sleep. Once this happens, once we embody
Yeah.
our energy, we're not going to need as much sleep. Well, that's because we're going to be able to go over there and do all of that without having to be asleep, which is so cool.
And I guess we recharge while we're there. Is that the idea? Is that why we don't need as much?
Well, I think it's twofold. Like I think there's the fact that we're going to be embodying all this love energy, and so that's energy, and so we don't need as much sleep.
Right.
But then also our sleep time is our planning time, is the time when we're on the other side. And I mean, we're always on the other side, but there's something about having more of our
Yeah.
consciousness, our energy, whatever, on that side, that when we're sleeping, we're doing more work. And now we'll be able to do that consciously while we're awake and not lose any time here. So it's really cool. Yeah.
That's so cool. All of it. Yeah. So it's the higher selves of others. Like, so let's just put it as I've got somebody like I have a brother here and I have a brother who has passed and is on the other side. And my parents are on the other side. So that's the thing, right? Like I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna see my parents and my brother. So then they're saying that I can also communicate with, the brother that's still here at the same time, like
Yes.
family reunion time.
Yes.
But I think that because they're talking about this is after the mass awake, and I'm like fully working on the assumption that I'm going with the mass awakening and not waiting for the second wave or the third wave or the fourth wave, right? So like, I don't know if my brother's going to be part of the mass awakening. I know that then there's the great awakening, right? Which is when we all will be doing that, I guess.
Well, I think they're calling everybody's awakening is the great awakening, because we talk about being in our awakening process, right? Like and people will say, "Oh, I had my awakening 2 years ago." Well, that's like awakening to this whole idea, to the idea that there is more to life and everything. But when they talk about the great awakening, they're talking about everybody individually having this experience of now being able to access the other side of awareness.
Right. But
The first wave, there's a bunch of us that are having that at the same time. And so that's the mass awakening.
yes.
But then
So
after that, it's going to be more individualized, except that, of course, I mean, there's 8 billion people on this planet. Some of them are going to happen at the same time. So it's like mini waves, and they call each person's unique awakening their great awakening.
Okay. I had it misinterpreted. It was only mentioned once, I think, in one of our videos. I know you've mentioned it in your own channel. Well, then what do we call it? What shall we call it when everybody's awake? Like, which I know is decades, a couple of decades or so, she said, from now. When we're helping them over the finish line, like we were talking about, was that the last episode? Or the episode for that? Anyway, it was last episode where we're helping them over the finish line, the last ones to awaken. Like, that's what I mean. That I know that there's a point where everybody will be awake.
Yes.
I don't know where my other brother, right, the brother that's here, where he falls in all that.
Yeah.
So when I'm over on that side of awareness, talking to my mom and my dad and my deceased brother, and then I'm talking also to the other brother who's still incarnated, he's not aware of that.
His 3D self is not. No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. And even like maybe there is some effect for him though, but who knows?
Yeah.
But it's the higher self of them. I'm just computing all of it. I can't wait to go back and watch this again because, I'm taking it in for the first time, obviously. And you're only getting part of it, eh? Because you're channeling it.
Well, yeah, exactly. It sort of just flows through. Like now I forget about the whole second half. Oh, it was about
it was about helping people.
Yeah.
And about
I've talked to I've done a few private readings, and where information like this has come through, where you're going to be helping people with their karma, and so I've had some questions around, well, like are we allowed to do that, you know? And so yeah, they've really explained that now. And it makes complete sense that yes, we had the hardship of doing this without help, but we came in with that advantage of a more powerful love energy imprint,
Mhm.
you know? So that's really cool. So it's
And
like
now we get to give the others like a leg
we're
up.
all working hard. Nobody's getting a free ride here.
No,
Not happening.
for sure. But I also like, so, you know, we're getting these messages for all of us folks, for you. The whole intention of the channel was that Pele and the other beings of light and the CFB series like want to bring these messages to you. But of course, I'm getting them for me too. While I'm right, like, you know, this is a reading for me too while we're getting them. And I was chuckling because in that me who wanted to just stay on the other side of awareness, like she said, though, that's karma and it's stuff. And I wonder if in some of the karma that I've healed just very recently, if maybe there was a part of me that was trying to escape, you know what I mean? And some karma that I've healed recently and some trauma that I've healed recently. We're always growing, you know?
Oh, we are.
If some of that was actually me wanting to escape certain things, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, okay, so there's that. Because like, you know, I didn't want to never see my daughters again. It's not that.
Yeah.
But then also when I used to say that to you, like, oh, I just want to go, forget it, I don't care, whatever, like whatever, I'll figure it out about not seeing my kids. They're grown, by the way, full adults, folks. They don't like live with me.
Yeah.
Walk out
They're
the
not
door.
mine.
Yeah, get your own dinner. They're grown. So remember that I would also be like, I don't need to be helping people either. Like I just want to I like to let them help themselves. This
You
is
can help them.
remember we've known each other for almost 30 years. Like there was younger me wasn't perhaps quite as compassionate and magnanimous and wise as older me. And anyway, you remember me saying that, just like I didn't have any impetus to, like for instance, I've never had any impetus to you have healing power, like do healing or learn Reiki or like I don't know, whatever, to help people. And I would be like, I'm just gonna go over there and, you know, live my life with my feet up, my place with the pipe, and I don't want to help anybody. So while she was talking, that has changed in recent years, but while she was talking, I just felt like part of it was her kind of just rationalizing, like, you need to help these people. Like, you have a leg up and giving me, you know, because saying that, like, you've had a leg up. So not just to me, I know to a bunch of people, but you've had a leg up by being one of those first super charged beings of light that incarnated, and perhaps it was easier for you to go through your karma. And so as we get people that are on earth that they need your keys, go bring them your keys.
Yes.
And just while she's saying it, I was thinking like, yeah, well, because I don't really feel that way anymore. Like I did years ago of like, everybody just on their own. Just on your own. I get it now about like helping now that from last week's message too, that now that we know that like, oh,
I know.
even those of us, folks, whoever you're thinking of when you go like, they're never gonna make it. Like they're never gonna see the light. They are.
Yeah.
And we're gonna help them. And there it is. We're gonna go over and have our experiences and everything, but then we're gonna come back with our keys.
Yeah.
Keys is in one of the previous videos too. I don't know which one, I've lost track.
Yeah.
About healing keys as you heal your karma.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, very exciting. That one last week made me cry. That whole idea of, you know, that last
marathon
soul coming over and we're all standing there waiting. It's like a surprise party.
The people in the comments really liked the marathon analogy that you know what I mean? Like because it like, so we're the first people that crossed and won because we're in really good shape and everything. And we won the race. And then the people who are just dragging themselves across the finish line at the end, but they finished.
Yes.
And people are running to help them and carrying them across the finish line and all that. Like, so cool. It's better explained in what was that, 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's saying, that's what she's saying now in this part of the message. I'm pointing at some notes that I made. I forget that I'm on camera. That's what she's saying is like, that's how we're gonna help them. Like, we get to go have our fun
Exactly.
on the other side and reap the benefits of this early awakening, right?
Yes.
But yeah, we're gonna come back and
And we're going to want to.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because this is an all or nothing. We all have to do this. There's no jumping out of this experiment.
Yes.
Okay, well, she has more to say, so
Cool. Let's go.
let's go for it. Okay, so it's still, this is Pele again. Hi, Pele. Now, I want to discuss the children and the people with a mind affected disability. So I am talking about children with autism or other karma that prevents them from living as a ordinary person. I use ordinary to just describe the ordinary life experience of a human being on Earth. So, I'm talking about the children and the adults that are not able to live an ordinary life and cannot live on their own independently. There is a lot of fear around this topic and what will happen to these people. This is not a complicated issue at all. Some people take on a life experience to aid others with their karma. We talked about psychopaths being beings of light who agree to incarnate for a specific purpose. The people that incarnate and are not able to live ordinary lives independently, they are performing a role for others. There are many reasons why a person would choose to experience this, and why a family would choose to experience this. I cannot cover every reason here today. There is a lot of truth behind some of the beliefs that are shared about people like this. And there is some confusion. People with these types of limitations are playing a role in the lives of people around them. There is no karma that involves coming in with a limitation that prevents you from living independently. That is something that needs to be healed. Anytime a soul incarnates with a limitation that prevents them from living independently, they are being an experience for others to heal. These souls are high-level souls, and they have no karma to be healed around this experience. This experience is always for others. So, the truth is that these souls are high-level souls, and they are ready to ascend and be in the Great Awakening. However, some of these souls are choosing to wait until they incarnate the next time before they have their Great Awakening. Others will have their Great Awakening in this lifetime. That is an individual choice. The idea around children of higher love energies coming to Earth is an idea that has been misunderstood and miscommunicated to the point that it is not really understood on Earth. yes, children are being born with more energy than ever before. However, there is no delineation between different children being born and their capabilities. There are no groups of special children. All children are special. All people are special. So this has been a misunderstanding of what is happening. Yes, more and more love energy is being able to be held within a body as that soul completes their karma and heals their karmic cycles. So, certain children are born with more love energy within their bodies than other children, depending on where they are in their growth cycle of their souls. These children are all having a human experience, and they are all living in karma right now. Even someone who has completed all their karma is still living in karma right now. This means that even when you complete all your karma and heal your karmic cycles, until you have your great awakening, you are living in karma, meaning that you are still intricately, you are still involved in the karmic world. You will be more peaceful, and you will not be drawn into drama. However, you are still living in the karmic world. Now, once a person has their great awakening, they are no longer living in the karmic world. This is a significant difference. When a person has their great awakening and they are no longer living in the karmic world, their lives become a hope-filled, love-filled, peaceful expression of their love energy imprint. And they are able to create the life of their dreams. This only happens once a person has experienced their great awakening. The difference is huge. You can have a peaceful and non-dramatic experience in life within the karmic world. However, you will not be able to create the life of your dreams until you experience your great awakening. So, some of these children will be karma free, and they are still living in a karmic world. However, they may be peaceful and love-filled. Once they have their great awakening, these people will be able to create the life of their dreams. So, some of these people will choose to wait to have their great awakening in their next lifetime. Others will choose to have their great awakening in this lifetime. So that means that when a person with a disability that limits their ability to live independently steps out of karma, they will drop the limitations that are on them. This will lead to a lot of spontaneous and miraculous healings. This will cause a lot of speculation within the mainstream community, and it will bring a lot of people to question things and begin their awakening process. There will be a lot of miracles seen on Earth in the decades and centuries to come. Earth is about to have an awakening herself that will blow your minds. That will be a story for another day. You have a question about people with physical disabilities. That is different. People do incarnate for their own healing purposes with a physical disability. We are talking about people who are mentally incapable of living on their own. Okay, and with that, she's done. And she said she's done. Because
That's
I
funny.
was asking, I had that question in my mind. Okay, does this include people with physical disabilities? So that's why I was just about to say it out loud, and she's like, "You have a question?" I'm like, "Yeah, I
That's
do."
so funny. And she says she's done. She hasn't done that before. So she's like Elvis has left the building. Like, no
Yeah.
questions, no further questions.
Well, we could ask a question, but
Oh,
she doesn't
okay.
have any more
It's
like
just
big
funny that
messages.
that's how she said
I
it.
know.
No further questions.
So this is wild because in my Patreon community, the group meeting that we had today,
Mhm.
this question came up. Somebody asked about what's going to happen to children and people with this kind of disability. Like what happens to they can't heal
Yep.
on their own, right? And yeah, so it's really fascinating. I'm really glad that she talked about this because a lot of people are wondering, including myself, because I said to them, I don't know, I'm going to have to ask her. But she answered without me having to ask.
That's so cool. I love that it came from your Patreon because while she was doing that part, I have no reference in my own life of other than that one of my daughters right works with individuals who have autism, but myself I don't so she would be very interested in this message, you know,
Yeah.
but I don't just have any reference where, you know, how, like I said, like I was hanging on the first part of the message.
Yes.
I didn't for this. So I'm sure that there are lots of people, perhaps viewers, you know, watching it as well, that's really important and comforting information, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think
thank
I
you.
am going to ask a question because somebody in that group said that you know there's a thought or a theory that people with autism that they're sort of living in that dimension, like they're living in the 5D, and that's why they have trouble
Read
here,
that
which is
too.
their
Yeah, I've
yeah.
heard that.
So I'm actually going to ask her that question and see what she says about that.
Okay.
Okay, this is Pele again. This is one of those questions that is both simple and complicated. People with autism specifically are living in their own realities. And those realities are sometimes part of this side of awareness, but not always. Some incarnate into their own realities, and those realities are not this side of awareness. The reasons for these different experiences have to do with that soul's own preferences. Some souls want to have access to this side of awareness when incarnated as a person with autism. Other souls find that harder. It is purely an individual preference. Now, the complicated part is that love energy is a powerful and magical energy. So when a person incarnates as a person with autism and they have access to this side of awareness, they are sometimes healed as they grow older. these people often reduce their symptoms because of the love energy they are subjected to while living in two realities. Others find this harder because it is confusing to the person incarnated in Earth's energy. This experience can be very confusing and lead to a lot of violence if the person is not a high-level person. By that, we mean that they have had other similar experiences in Earth's energy that make this two reality experience with this side of awareness being one of the realities a bit easier. If this is their first time experiencing something like this as a person incarnated in Earth's energy, they often choose not to have access to this side of awareness as their other reality. So many people who have experience in Earth's energy with autism will choose to have this side of awareness as their second reality. People who are new to this experience will often choose to have an easier experience by not having access to this side of awareness as their second reality. Now, of course, all of these people have access to this side of awareness during their sleep, as does everyone incarnated on Earth. Okay, but she's done. That was interesting.
Yeah.
And I like how she differentiated between, because it's like a high-level person with this kind of experience, because they're all high-level souls that take on that role, right? So I wasn't sure where she was going at first with that. It's like, but you said they were all high-level souls.
Yeah.
So then she explained, like, high-level people that have had this kind of experience as a person with autism before. If they've had that, then they can handle.
So some souls incarnate multiple times in that. I took it as like a service role.
Yeah.
Like they're not coming in with any karma to live out themselves. We haven't done the karma definition in this video. So go back in the other videos and look, karma doesn't mean punishment and reward. It's like the
just
what you
signed
can
up
hear.
for. Unfinished experiences.
Yeah. So she's saying that people who have incarnated in this service role several times, they may be having access to her side of awareness.
Yeah.
But for those who are new to it, it's just too much for them, right? And it can cause too much stress.
But that's interesting because about if you if they incarnate and they do have access to the other side as their second reality, that sometimes will help them to lessen their symptoms or heal.
Yes,
Yeah, so
because
that's
of love energy. Now, in the second part, of course, your question was about people with autism, because in the first part of this, okay, in the first part of the second part of the message, when she started talking about people who can't live independently for intellectual reasons, she wasn't only talking about autism, right?
No.
Like, she was talking about other
Yeah.
disabilities or exceptionalities as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but I asked specifically about autism
Yeah.
because there is that theory that they live in two realities, which apparently they do.
Yeah.
So that's
Some do. Well, they do live in two.
yes.
Some it's two. What's the other one then?
It's just another reality, but not the
On
other
the other
side of
side.
awareness.
Yeah. Got it. There's a lot.
But they're
I'm
living in
gonna
two
be going
worlds.
back and listening to this, I'll tell you. Rewind, what? Yeah.
Wow. And then what did they say? She was going to give us more information about something. What was that other thing? That's for another time, she said. That was back. Anyway.
I don't know if I wrote that down. I don't know, but it's for another time.
Yeah, story for another day. A lot
There
of
are
people
still more
questions.
videos to come. We haven't had any indication that there's gonna be
Oh, Earth will have an awakening. That's it.
oh
Earth will have
yeah.
her own awakening, but that's for
Yeah.
another time.
Well, because she talked in another video about Earth is healing karma and that's what the extreme weather and stuff has been about, right? So like Earth, she definitely has already like started into talking about like Earth being an entity of its own, you know, of her own.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Earth is having her own awakening. Cool. Maybe that's next episode.
Maybe.
See, again, I'm going to sign off of this one going like, when are we recording again? If we didn't have lives, if we didn't work and, you know, have to clean my house and, you know, I just want to record these episodes, you know, over and over and over in a day or whatever, because they're just so interesting and enlightening.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And thank you for doing this with me. And thank you for channeling these for us. I haven't actually publicly said that. I say that to Cindy like all the time. But you know, it's a lot of channeling you're doing for us. And
It is, but thank you for doing this with me because this wouldn't be happening without you. It really wouldn't. Because yeah, this stuff is too big for me to sit here by myself.
I didn't think about it that way. That's so funny. And you
There's no way I would be doing this alone.
Sorry, I'm coughing. That's so funny. I hadn't thought
I
that.
need your support. Give me your hand. I need your support.
At the beginning of CFB1, we talk a little bit about how we met and who we are to each other and and the fact that we have really super different personalities. And I am kind of the just say it girl. Like, and also like I believe anything. So that's pretty cool. I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real mutual admiration moment between me and Cindy. And for you folks, thanks so much for joining us and for your engagement in the comments. Just, I love it. I love watching the comments come in. And once again, you're having discussions in the comments and commenting on each other's comments. And it really adds a lot. Like I feel this sense of community with all of you that are, you know, piping in and adding to your own takes on things and your thoughts. And I'm sure, like I said, I didn't have a lot of personal experience with the second part of this message, but of course the first part I did. I'm sure I look forward to hearing about it in the comments about your take on the messages that Pele brought us today.
Very cool. And this spontaneous, miraculous healing that some of them are going to choose to take because they're going to choose to have that happen. And so like that's going to be amazing when that starts happening.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So thanks very much for joining us, everyone. We'll see you real soon in the next episode.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Thanks. Have a great day.